So there is a past life then.
There
we
is
have.
definitely. For
And
most souls, there is.
how do we approach this subject when it comes to modern, sort of atheistic point of view?
We take a body in this lifetime, which is our avatar, and then we leave the body after some time. Who is this we? This we is the soul.
Welcome back, Mr. Sunil, Kaura. We are live again, and this is another day of discussion. Yes, you too. Welcome. Another day of discussion about spirituality and aspects of spirituality and mental health. I really want to talk about some of the things that we just touched upon yesterday.
Right.
One of them is you did past life regression.
Correct.
Can you talk a little about past life regression and about past lives also?
Yeah. In past life regression, what happens is that you're put through a process. It's not a very complicated, super complicated process. It's a very simple process.
Okay.
You lie down and the facilitator then asks you to breathe.
Okay.
Something very similar to alpha healing. And then they count backwards. And as they count backwards, they take you into the subconscious space, which is exactly what happens in alpha healing as well.
Yeah.
So right before the start of the session, you identify what is it that you want to work on. What problem in your current life is bothering you or has been bothering you. So that problem is first identified, right? And most of the times you know exactly what's bothering you.
Yeah.
So then the source of that, you revisit that source in that state, in that deeply restful state, wherein your conscious mind is not working, but your subconscious mind is on, like you're in the cosmic realm, and you revisit that moment, which is the source which is linked to the current problem, or source of the current problem.
Okay.
So usually it's a very traumatic event,
Right.
or an event from which you picked up some point of view, which is impacting your current life, which is part of your belief system now.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
So when you revisit that, the belief system or non-contributive belief that's creating which is part of your avatar's energy body right now, and which is creating your reality right now in terms of your life situations, the source lies there. And when you revisit that, in that alpha state,
right,
this gets released and dissolved.
Interesting.
And also the emotions around that event, they get released.
Right.
But the memory of the event remains. So you can remember the event thereafter.
I see.
But the emotions and non-contributive thoughts and beliefs, all of that gets released.
So there is a past life then.
There is definitely. For most souls there is. For most people there is.
And how do we approach this subject when it comes to modern, sort of atheistic point of view? You know, people who just scoff at the idea that past life is not a thing. How do we tell them that, no, this is actually a thing? I mean, obviously people who don't want to believe.
You can't tell anybody
that
past life exists. Please, don't tell anybody. But it's not like that. Even if you tell somebody, right, they won't believe you because they've not experienced it. Even forget about past life. They'll not even believe the existence of an energy which they can't see or they can't sense with their five senses, which is what the modern science is all about, or which is the basic fundamental tenet or principle of modern science, that whatever you can sense with your five senses, only that thing exists, other things don't exist. So because of this thing being so deeply culturally kind of ingrained, especially in the modern era, last 100, 200 years, so it's difficult for people to kind of, especially Westerners, it's even more difficult for them to kind of acknowledge this or even consider the possibility that a past life exists.
But if you had to explain the concept of past life to someone in a way that
They get it.
Yeah, they get it.
So it's
How
like
would
this.
you do it?
We take a body in this lifetime, which is our avatar, and then we leave the body after some time, right? And who is this we? This we is the soul. This
Right.
we is part of the one energy. This we is the creator's part. It's pure energy, pure consciousness. That's what you and I are. We are not this physical body alone. We take this physical body for a certain purpose, for experiencing certain experiences in this lifetime. And after the purpose is met, after our life's plan is lived, then we kind of take a break, leave the body, go to the after realm, and that's when healing happens. It's very similar to how we start our day. We get up in the morning, right? And we take some time to kind of come to the
Yeah. Collect ourselves. Yeah.
and work full state. And then we live our day. We do go through several experiences. We go through certain highs in some moments. We go through a lot of pain in some moments. And a lot of thoughts come in. And a lot of things happen in the day, correct? And sometimes the day is just mundane. There is nothing that we do which is so extraordinary. But still, we go through the routine, correct? And after that, we sleep.
Yeah.
Now, what happens when you sleep? Do you remember? Do you remember, or do you remember, or do you remember? Any of you remember? What happens during those 8 to 6 hours or whatever, 6 to 8 hours of sleep when you get up? You've spent 6 to 8 hours, which is the time that you spend, say, quality 8 hours on work, right? That's the quantum of time that has gone into sleep.
Yeah.
And if I ask you, what have you done in the waking state, in your work time during those 8 hours, you can tell me, okay, this time to this time I did this, and this time to this time I did something else, and this time to this time I did something else. This is how I spent my 8 hours in the work. But if I ask you the same thing, how did you spend your 8 hours in sleep? You have no clue.
Yeah.
Most people, right? I'm not talking about exceptions, but most people do not have a clue as to how does this time goes by.
It's so true.
But when you get up the next morning,
you feel refreshed.
You feel refreshed.
Yeah.
And for a few moments, right, you have no memory sometimes when you get up of where you are, what you're doing. And you have to remember, you have to make conscious effort to remember, like, what is today?
Yeah, yeah.
And
what is the next
plan? What is the plan for today? What are you going to do today, right?
That's true. That's true. What
Because
point of in the life? Where am I?
Correct.
Get
Correct.
ahead,
And then you need to kind of gather yourself and remind yourself and remember where are you? Because in that moment, you are the pure energy.
Yeah.
Your conscious mind has not yet kind of come to life fully. It's not yet kicked in and is not controlling you. In that moment, you're pure energy.
That's interesting. So during sleep state, the soul does it go back to the source, or is it?
The soul is always connected with the source, which is you're always connected with the source.
Okay.
It's just that during sleep, your conscious mind steps aside, right? And you experience your true self.
Okay. And it heals you. It completely
heals you. Correct.
Yeah.
Heals your avatar, heals your body, heals your mind, heals your heart.
At the cellular level, it heals you.
Yes. And in the morning, then again, you come back and your conscious mind takes over.
Takes over.
Because something very similar happens when you take a body.
Yeah.
Right? And you live a life.
Yeah.
Your conscious mind comes in. And then conscious mind is nothing but the ego, which we call as the ego.
Yeah.
That kind of controls and steers your life.
Ego doesn't have to be like a bad thing.
No, it's not a bad thing.
It's just something that gives you an individual perspective so that you can function as an individual in the physical world.
Ego is not a bad thing, first of all, but ego has its own illusions.
That it does.
Right.
Yeah.
And that creates a lot of disease and disharmony. So if you're happy with disease and disharmony, then you don't need to do anything about that.
Yeah.
And eventually it drives you rather than you driving it.
Yeah.
And who is you? The energy, the soul, the purest form. So if you're not driving your mind is driving you. Right?
Yeah.
So how do you drive your mind unless you come out of the mind and look at it?
That's true.
So to answer your question, we take births across lifetimes, and in between take the resting periods to heal and recoup. Very similar to how we spend a day and night, our days and nights. Right.
Yeah.
So that's an analogy for you to understand how. But the only difference here between this day and night example and the rebirth example, or how the rebirth happens, is that when you take a rebirth, your memory from the conscious mind of what's happened in the previous is completely wiped off.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you've seen a movie called Gajini.
Yeah.
Right? It's a very famous movie in Hindi. It's a Hindi movie, Telugu movie, and
it's actually
Tamil movie.
It's actually remade from an English movie.
Which one is that?
Memento.
Memento, yeah. So if you've seen the movie called Memento, that's what happens, right? The person completely, or even this movie, right? 100 proposals or something like that, wherein the lady who's the lead character, she loses her memory every day when she gets up. She doesn't remember who she is. And then her life partner then has to each day start afresh and tell her who she is. And then she has some good days and she has some bad days, something like that. So basically, when you take a rebirth, the memory is wiped off of your conscious mind, not your subconscious mind.
Yeah.
Right?
The subconscious holds everything.
Everything.
All the memories, emotions.
Everything. And 1%, hardly less than 1% of your thoughts, belief systems and points of view are in your conscious mind. 99% are in your subconscious mind. But this conscious mind, the memories are clean, wiped.
Yeah.
So when you take a rebirth, you don't remember completely. But there's a catch to this. When you're really small, when you're a young child, most children, if you look at them, right, they sleep a lot in the early part. I don't know if you've noticed, but they sleep a lot first 1 or 2 years, especially in the first 6 months to 1 year. And if you notice them, they smile, they cry in their sleep. That's because in that space, they're still moving out of, the transition period is still happening. There is still transition happening.
Wow.
And this continues till 7 years.
Wow.
Which is why children are very connected during the first 6-7 years of their lives.
Wow.
Which is why people say children are very innocent and very this age group.
So interesting, because I read this book about brain states and how the alpha state is the 7 to 14 hertz, right?
Correct.
And it's there for children at 3 to 6 years old.
Right.
And below that, the infants have the brains, which is the delta state, which is the deep sleep state, which is at 0.5 to 3.5 hertz.
Right.
So the brain
is actually very malleable at that time, but it also is deeply connected.
Correct.
So, you're really the deep sleep.
It isn't that. They are in the meditation space.
Yeah, they are, right?
Or deep sleep space.
Yeah.
And that's when they can easily access, because in the cosmic space, they're in the subconscious self, they can easily access very, very easy their past lives.
Yeah.
So they keep getting these memories of their past lives, which is why you see them crying randomly in sleep while they're asleep.
Wow.
And which is why you see them smiling randomly, because they are remembering or they are revisiting those moments.
Yeah.
And so it's not that it's completely wiped off like that. Even wiping off is a process.
Yeah.
If you look at nature now, it's very beautiful and it's very organic.
Yeah.
Everything happens with a slow rhythm, organic pace.
Almost like gears going and slow.
Yeah.
Going, yeah.
It's very slow.
Yeah.
Gears happens like, it doesn't happen in attackers.
Yeah.
Very slow movement in nature, which is almost invisible.
Okay.
If you see a plant growing every day, you're not going to realize it's growing.
Yeah.
Right? If you see a child growing every day, you're not going to realize it's growing.
Yeah.
Or he or she is growing there.
Yeah.
That's how Mother Nature is. So even the wiping off of the memories from the conscious mind, that doesn't happen like one shot. It is a slow process that happens right from birth till about 6-7 years. And then after 7 years, the child loses complete consciousness of earlier lives. And then that conscious mind takes over.
It's also because of the environment. What do we teach?
No. That's the Mother Nature's process.
Wow.
Nothing to do with the environment. Child can be in any environment. Can be in Africa, South America, North America.
If we teach them and train them to be more sensitive about this from child,
Then it can.
then it can,
Be
yeah,
sustain for it can continue.
yeah, just installing that awareness.
No, it doesn't have to sorry. You have to work with it. So my children, both of them, whenever they find a difficulty, I help them in the past. I help them understand what is it that is bothering them. And then which alpha meditation to me can help them release that. Or I take them to the alpha state and facilitate the journey. I've done that several times.
Wow.
Even before the birth. Even with them in the mother's womb.
Wow.
Especially for the younger one, right?
Yeah.
So it works beautifully, even with children. Provided we are aware and we can put them on, we can start there, and then they continue the journey. So then the connection kind of, it helps in kind of continuing that space for a lot of time. Or more, eternity.
But coming back to
Past lives.
past life story is I don't want to just bring up the point that just because it's not common knowledge, that doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And many people have spoken about it and have experienced it.
Yeah.
It's just that it's not common experience too, because one, the sensory input from the physical world is a lot. So, and then there's this whole process of getting detached from the previous lives. And the whole reason for why we get detached is because we can't, there's no, all that memory, all that trauma is just too much to bear over life.
For the conscious mind.
Yeah, for the conscious. But in the subconscious, what subconscious is basically emotions, right? It's learned emotions or learned knowledge.
No, subconscious is not.
It's learned lessons.
No.
What have it?
No.
It's not?
No.
What is it?
Subconscious is the cosmic realm. That's it.
Conscious.
It is the consciousness. It is the creator.
Yeah, but it is the consciousness that holds all the knowledge of the collective humanity knows.
It's not only that.
No.
So, no, not only that. Like, for example, if your subconscious will carry all the emotions and memories and skills of all your past lives. So you'll carry all the traumatic memories and traumatic emotions
Of your past.
of your past lives.
But also, it's also not just our past life, but it's the collective knowledge of all the past lives that we've known.
Correct.
Yeah.
So that's one part. But also, when the subconscious has the complete knowledge of everything that's happening everywhere in this world and this moment. So in other words, the entire universe is in the subconscious.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's there as a conscious mind. It's very difficult for the conscious mind to kind of understand this and get a grip of this. Because logically, when you think of a universe, you're thinking of a physical thing. And it's not a physical thing. It's an energetic thing.
Yeah.
It's an energy. And the energy is not kind of finite. It's infinite.
Yeah.
And that energy is present everywhere. And the energy, each particle of that energy has the entire spectrum. Or has the entire universe with it.
Right.
So each particle has a whole, complete whole within it. So it's got all the information of everything that's happening in the universe. That's one part of it. But it also has all the memories that it has gathered, including trauma. So it's not only the learnings. And which is why the inner journey is so important. The whole inner journey is to clear the hurt and pain that you picked up from those traumas in that past.
Yeah.
Because they're currently impacting your present life. We're not doing this, we don't revisit. I mean, most of us, there are some people who are very excited with the past life thing. And you want to visit for the sake, for the heck of it, just for experiencing it. But most practitioners take you to the past life only there's something which is bothering you right now, and the source of that is mostly in the past lives. So take you there to heal. And that's the inner journey all about for everybody, right? To release those emotions, to release non-contributive thoughts you may have picked up from that traumatic event. For example, if a person is murdered in the past life by a group of people, right? what is the belief system you would pick up from? Or what is the feeling that you would have? A, that would be very painful and traumatic.
Yes.
Right? But if it's like birth, alive, or anything. So, how would it impact his current life? He would be very afraid of fire.
Yeah.
Unnatural fear of fire.
Yeah.
Right?
First, yeah.
Right? You will not even want to light the gas.
Yeah.
Right? Kind of a thing. Or unnatural fear of heights if you're falling from top. Whatever.
Yeah.
Second, the feeling within him would be in that the world is unfair. And that belief gets ingrained in his subconscious or his energy body, and he carries this soul and energy body, carries that belief within it and goes to the next side. And it re-experiences, that belief then creates experiences for him to again experience the same things that the world is unfair. And that again reinforces the belief and makes it stronger so that the manifestation happens in the next life even more stronger and more, it creates more disease. So you see, it's a journey.
Yeah.
And unless you revisit that release, and that's the whole inner journey about, to go inside and revisit your, if I may say, past part of you. There is no past, present, and future in the cosmic realm.
Mm.
In the pure consciousness or in the conscious energy or God, creator, whatever you call it.
There's no time.
There is no time.
Yeah.
Time doesn't exist.
Yeah. So time is an illusion.
Illusion, it's a creation, it's a manifestation of the three-dimensional. So it's how your mind, your five senses process it.
Yeah.
Linearity,
Yeah.
past, present, and future. Whereas in the energetic or the subconscious self, whatever, it's cosmic energy, then you call it that, or you call that realm as subconscious self.
Yeah. There's no time.
There is no time.
Yeah.
And there is no space.
Happening.
There is no space.
Yeah.
Everything is happening now.
No. And here.
And here.
Yeah.
And so you can visit it anytime. Visit anything, past, present, and future anytime.
And if you heal,
By tapping into that.
if you start healing now, you end up healing
Your body.
your path, as in you end up healing your cells, your outcome.
Yes, correct.
In various-
Across lifetimes,
like,
across dimensions.
yeah.
And Alpha healing meditations are designed to heal each of your avatars
Yeah.
across time and space, across dimensions.
Yeah.
So that's when you work with Alpha healing meditations. It's not only healing your avatar, this mind, body, and heart. It's healing all your avatars across time, space, and dimensions.
All directions, all dimensions.
Yes. So that's what happens.
That's the beauty of it.
Oh, this beautiful Lord. Let's take a cut. Great. Next. That's already gone.
That's gone. This is, I think. I hope this survived.
This is also gone.
Oh no, it's dead. We got one.
We feel this emptiness within us. A lot of us do. There's a void within our chest, a gaping hole. And we try to fill it with so many things. A job, relationships, objects, I don't know, capitalism. But the truth is, none of it can actually fill that void. And we get so disappointed and we end up living this life of pain, but it doesn't have to be that way. This mindset that we don't have something can only be beaten with the mindset that we have everything. And that is your true state. Your true state is of abundance. The best way to do it is to clear your inner space, and which is why we started this series. I hope this helps as many people as possible. If you did enjoy our content, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Please watch the entire series because I think it's going to be of great value. We've spoken about various diverse topics, and thank you for watching, and see you in the next one. We are energy, layers of energy. There's the subtle quantum level energy, which we cannot see, has no form. And then there is the energetic body around it. This energetic body is actually accumulated over time. Just because it's a wave, right? It's traveling across the dimensions, across the space. And as it's moving, it's collecting, it's literally colliding into more energy, and it's a wave, so it takes it along. So,
Interesting.
what do you think about it?
So I kind of, this is interesting what you just shared.
Yeah.
Because I never looked at it from that perspective.
Oh my god. Whoa, what is that? Oh my god, I just stumbled upon gold mine.